Good morning, I'm Cody Henriksen, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the basics of using SwiftUI, the new way of making a layout or an app inside the iOS environment. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we need to do to make this happen. The first thing we do is we do a quick little overview about SwiftUI. So SwiftUI is the new environment that Apple has introduced for so they can make your layouts, your applications when we're working with iOS development. It's one of the big things about it is you can make it so that your views can be more reusable and a lot easier to put together on a code basis rather than some of the problems that you ran into when you're working with the storyboard system that was previously built into Xcode. So one of the big things about it is it really allows for a simplified layout and animation directly inside the code, and we'll see how that can actually work. One of the really great things about it is that component names you're working with reflect the purpose. It's a really idea of form follows function. When you use the code to go along with it, it's clear exactly when you write something, what's going to be showing up on the screen. It makes it really easy. Initialization of the objects is amazingly easy because you just pass it a string parameter of what you want it to say, and boom, you're good to go. You have a default object right there. And event handlers are directly attached to this, so there's no more of the control drag or right click and drag that you saw when you're trying to link your storyboard to your view controller file. So it's a really quick way to make that implicit attachment of what belongs to which component. You don't have to worry about having, say, for example, a couple extra handlers attached and wondering why you're getting this weird IB outlet not found error. So it's a great thing we can do to really look at how we can use a better iOS development environment and do some cool stuff inside our code. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff. When you first create your app, one of the first files you get inside your project is the ContentView.swift file. And the ContentView.swift file is the default app layout that you get automatically when you first make your app. It's composed of an amazing hello world text. Yes, I know. We do better than that every single time, but that's okay. It's what comes with it, so we just have to make a better one. It has two structs inside it. The first struct is the content view struct. This is what you're putting inside the actual screen. This will start off as a very basic thing, just like I said, just says hello world to start off with. The second struct is the content view underscore previews struct, which is how you can display the content on the canvas or the preview pane to the right, or if you really want to the bottom, but we want a full screen, so we show it to the right. But that's how you can actually show that. Now, you do not have to actually have your content view underscore previews struct there, but if you want to see what your code looks like, you definitely want to call it and run it there, because otherwise you have no idea what it's going to look like until it runs. And one of the amazing features of Xcode is that live interactive development, so we can see what's happening and how it looks on screen and interact with it. So you definitely want to keep that value in there. It makes life so much nicer. We'll go ahead and take a look at that as we go to the code as well. So how do I make it on the screen? You just need to make a Swift file. The first thing, of course, you have to import SwiftUI when you get the library of information, so we add that. Then you need to make a struct that's going to conform to the view protocol. The view protocol is what we're working with inside this. It has a required var called body that uses the opaque return of a sum view on that, and there's no required methods. We'll take a look at the details on that as we go through, but that's all you have to do is just make that right there, and of course if you want your preview of there, put the preview in too. Now we have the body. Now, I'm not talking like something off of a murder scene, those toe tags, they're notwithstanding. That's not what we're actually looking for. But what the body is a computer property, which is a variable, something that gets generated every single time it's being worked with. But it has to have something inside it. You have to display something. If you have a computed property with nothing inside it, you're going to get a compile time error. Ugh, that's not helpful. So you need to make sure you actually put a component inside the body. And that's why you start off with the hello world. So it's like, boom, there's something there. But we can put anything in there that we want. So that can be a single built-in component, like an image, like a text, like a button, whatever you want. Or it can be a stack of components. Or it can be a custom component that has lots of things inside it that you make yourself. And we'll take a look about that as we go on and do more things. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that is. Basic Swift components. So we have a label. Oh, we say text. A picture. I know, image. And then the name we see in XCSS, but no GIFs. Just a reminder, GIF is not supported explicitly in the new inside Xcode, so don't worry about that. A button. Button, quotes for the text you want to say on the button, and then handler code. I know, it's easy. It's cake. Now, we want to also talk about, like I said, stacks. So you have a couple different options for your stacks. You have a vertical stack, ABC, or horizontal stack, ABC, or depth-based stack, or zero stack, ABC. Now, I can't really show that using text right here because text doesn't really layer well. That's not how the English language or the Roman character set is designed. Layering the letters on top of each other just makes things look really weird and messy. However, with images, it's pretty cool. With colors, amazing. You can do some really cool layout stuff. Hey, this slideshow right here gives an example of that. Cool. So here we have our vertical stack. As you can see, I have my var body is, from some view, and I have a VStack in there. I have a text demo with some padding on it, so that's a little bit bigger on the sides compared to everything else. Then I have an image, more text, and then a button. And you can tell it's a button because it's blue. I know, it's amazing. The same example, but used as an HStack or horizontal stack. As you can see, we have a left-right order. The implicit structure of it is right there, and it's really easy to see. You can definitely see the impact of having the padding around all those directions on that demo text right there. And then we have ZStack. ZStack can do some cool stuff with pictures, but when we put text inside that, definitely not what we want to see. But you can see how you can do some really cool features with this. And by combining the stacks and the objects and working with that, we can make some really cool, easy to function layouts, and it's really quick to do stuff. We also have the ability to work on attributes. Attributes are how we can actually go through and affect the individual components. So I went through and I added some attributes to the text for demo on this one. As you can see, we have the component name and the initializer, and then we call the modification methods as we go, and they're just a little bit tabbed in on that. And so we have text demo, font weight is set to .heavy, foreground color is set to color.green, padding is set to .all, passing it 3, and a blur radius of 0.93. And as you can see, the color on that went from being right here with just black text, regular weight, to this one over here where it's green, kind of fuzzy, and it has the padding that's been going, it's bold, it's green, the padding's still there, but the blur makes it kind of fuzzy, not quite as nice to work with. But that's the basics of how we can do with this with SwiftUI, so the logic and stuff on that. Watch some of my other videos where we can actually demo and run this inside some code, and we'll go from there. Thanks again, have a great day.